armored targets. Made that mistake before. Are you satisfied, German MP dude? Is this what you wanted? Are you now entertained? Many cultures represented. Now you like your channel? Hell yeah, dude. Just for you, man. It's actually one of my favourite planes in the whole game, so I have no problem with playing this thing. Although, it can be hit and miss. Just because I like this thing doesn't necessarily mean that every game I have in this thing is a good game. First and foremost, it's an energy fighter. This plane, as good as it turns at low speed, you never want to be at low speed. You want to be as fast as possible at all times, over 400 miles an hour ideally. Blow in this thing is just almost certain death. It's such a large target. I'm going to fly up the river. That's what I'm going to do. Build my speed up. Brilliant. This thing retains energy so well that that's how you play this thing. As soon as you're at low energy, it's super difficult to survive. But high energy, this thing is a monster. Might not have time to do my usual strategy. I usually do that in like faster jets. Might have to just turn in a bit sooner than I normally would. I got hair in my eye. Put up a bit more speed. And this is the best looking plane in the game. Kogi is live. Alive. I am alive too. Hyrule. It's good to see you, man. How are you doing, my friend? Hydrate. Cheers, Hyrule. Looking out for me as always. Couple of bogeys. Dude, my buttons are all messed up, it's so sad. Right, here's a prop, so he does turn reasonably well at this BR. Although I'm absolutely booking it, and I can just play the yo-yo if I play this right. Let's go, it's the best out of 8, so Thunder. Tell me Hyrule. Look at the surface area of that wing. One big wing, baby. Tell me, Hyrule, explain yourself. So, yeah. My favourite thing about this design is that it was built solely out of necessity due to lack of resources. Like, the reason they designed this plane, the way they designed it, was not because it looked cool or because it was, like, efficient aerodynamically. It's because they did not have the resources to design a normal plane. Again, how to play this plane? Energy fighter. Hug, vid, hugs for you too. F8 is not good though. .0 sunk missiles. Just grinding the hunter. Hell yeah. How can I get hits with? How can I get hits with? Right, stay above 400. Very important. 30 mils. How can I get hits with a 30 mil? Oh. Right. Like I said, chat. This plane is an energy fighter. What is hit? I mean, I guess the 30mm high explosive incendiary tracer shell just scraped him, I guess. Just scraped his plane. It didn't detonate the high explosive charge that it has in it, or anything like that. That would make sense. Right. In reality, I should go for that F3, and that's what I should actually do. My god. Okay, keep my speed up. I got a good amount of ammo. It's funny, it doesn't look like you have a lot of ammo in this thing, but it has such a slow cycle rate of the guns that 200 rounds is actually plenty. You shoot so slow compared to most other planes. But I just retain energy so much better than him that he can't run away. He's going to crash into the ground, but... Velocity is also strange. It's surprisingly high. The only, like, poor aspect of these guns is the Convergence is completely whack. It's kind of like the Javelin, I guess it's like a good describe it. They're like the outside of your engines, and so like actually converging your guns on target, like oftentimes you'll shoot perfectly side by side the enemy plane just by the way that the guns are aligned. So it's often good to like blade your aircraft slightly when you aim, because you'd rather go one high one low because they might pull into it. But like going side by side, if they just stay on course, it's hard to hit. It's just so bad. Like you'll see me, a lot of times I take shots and my plane is like this angle, right? Because you're more likely to have a little bit of a error from the enemy plane, and they fly into your bullets. Version is so good, doesn't really matter. I don't think, honestly, it's pretty bad, but it could be worse. Like the ME-262's stock 30 mils are way worse than this. Remember what I said, we want to stay high energy, right? So as soon as we commit to turning with this guy, we bleed speed. So you just want to stay in a position where you're always higher energy than your opponent. I know it sounds like very like basic, but like with this plane, you just don't want to be slow ever. You always want to be fast. Okay. Are you supposed to dogfight? Absolutely not. As soon as you dogfight with this thing and you overshoot, you're done. It's such a big target. And it retains energy so well. It's probably the best energy retention plane at this BR by like a million miles. Like I don't even think any other plane at this BR is even close. Like maybe the SU-11 is like somewhat comparable, and the Kika, but like this thing retains energy so much better than both of those planes. If played correctly. Well, obviously it's like how you play it, but for me, as someone who's had, I don't know how many exactly how many games I've had in this thing, but 125 games in this thing, 400 mile an hour is like, that's your soft limit of how slow you want to be. Like just because this thing can dogfight doesn't mean you should take the dogfight. At least in my experience. I mean, that F80 is cooking, isn't he? It might be worth just going for this AE 2D before he can make it back to base. He's going so far. I'm not going to be able to catch that F80. It's like the Draken then? Yeah, I would say so, yeah. That's a good comparison. Although I think the Draken, obviously, it's a bit more versatile. This is very situational. You don't want to be taking this thing into every fight and play it the same way. You know, like when I was fighting those two A2Ds at the start, you want to be pretty much rolling around them. You don't want to be turning straight with them. But I'm so much faster than this guy. And the guns are good. And like I said, I had 240 rounds when I fought the F3D. And I've killed 2 guys since then, and I still have 166 rounds. Nice shot, thank you, Vin. Yeah, I played a lot of games in this thing. I definitely know how to aim it. But yeah, like the ammo, you shoot so slowly that like having not a lot of ammo in this thing is a lot of ammo in this thing, you know? It's crazy. Like I've killed 2 guys in 50 rounds ish. Like I could kill a whole team with 166 rounds if I actually get good explosion, good high explosive RNG. I'm gonna RTB though because I'm assuming that F80 is on his airfield, and I'm not gonna bother. Gonna go camp his airfield, so I'm just gonna go RTB and get fuel, and I might as well, you know. Oh, never mind. He crashed into the floor. Nice, good game. German MP, that was for you. German plane, 229, one of my favourites. Give it over 20 mil. I don't remember. I mean, exactly. But yeah, it's just how slow these guns shoot that makes it so easy to kill a lot of people with the amount of ammo that you get. Because like, you can hold down the gun and you shoot like 20 rounds. Like you can, like what would be a full 1,000 rounds in with a 50 cal is like 30 rounds with this thing. So it's very difficult to like waste your ammo. It's kind of foolproof, honestly. In the Stars for it, I think for a plane, I think it is, yeah. Anyway, quickly, I'll be right back. Fill up my water bottle. Take this opportunity to stretch, chat. If you're sat down a lot, remember to stretch. I'll be right back.